This week we've been covering the issues some mobile home park renters are facing. Some have seen significant changes in rent over the past couple of years. Residents in one mobile home community are facing roughly a 40% increase in rent, and that's before additional monthly expenses. Crystal Quao talks with one of the residents who could be impacted by the new park ownership.
Most home buyers, mobile or otherwise, want to protect and keep their investment. Brenda Lovegren has lived in her mobile home for 13 years, but now she says she's in danger of losing it.
I'm facing homelessness.
Lovegren says she received notice of a $200 rent increase last November, effective in December. The change makes her rent just shy of $700. She says her disability income is less than $1,200 a month. Kent French, director of North Dakota Manufactured Housing Association, says when he used to operate communities, his group would measure the cost of living before raising rent.
You know, they live month to month and there is no extra money. And many of these people are going backwards. And that's why you're seeing many of the parks lose residents.
Lovegren says before the spike, she was eligible for housing assistance. Since the lot rent increased, she says it has jeopardized her eligibility.
I pay Excel and MDU as well.
Cheryl Merck, principal investigator with Money Follows the Person, says in the last 3 months, their referrals have increased.
A lot of people are calling looking for assistance with their rent, assistance with security deposits, just basically anything to get them into housing or to stay in their housing.
She's not doing nothing.
Despite their efforts, French says some tenants have already faced eviction, and Lovegren says she has a court appearance coming up for outstanding rent. In Minot, I'm Crystal Quao reporting for your news leader.
Now, we tried contacting Western Village again today for comment, and we will try again this week. We'll have a copy of the summary of mobile tenant rights and laws passed during this past legislative session on our website. One of the new laws includes a minimum 3-month notice for mobile home evictions starting August 1st.